Morning, owner operators. How you doing? And owner operators to be. It is Christian Martinez with Super Trucker Podcast coming to you live. Just dropping some good information in front of the right people. So here we go. All right. So today I just want to remind everybody about this 2290. So what that means to you is basically if you are doing a lease to purchase, keep that in mind. What's going to happen is IRS is going to shut down for maintenance and the e-filing part of when you can get your 2290 going. They're shutting down on December 26th, which is next Friday, and they won't open that bad boy up until like mid-January or something like that. I think expectation might be January 10th and whatnot. But still, what that means to you is that can delay the process. So what I'm actually talking about is the process for it's when it's that lease to purchase. That's the difference. If you're just doing your regular typical purchase, you're going to get away with the bill of sale and a copy of the title. You got that grace period in order to get that in, so you're going to be able to get registered. It's the guys that are doing the lease to purchase, whether Lone Mountain, LRM, or anything similar to that, and it's going to be that specifically. So keep that in the back of your brain. If you are that individual that is actually getting involved in making that big change for yourself and getting into that truck, keep that in mind. So I mean, even for us, like, right, it's coming around the corner, but we're doing orientation, up into next week as well. Yeah. So I mean, even though it's going to be a holiday weekend, you still got the beginning. You still got a couple days in there that you can get things done, which is our plan. You just got to plan accordingly so you don't miss the beat. All right. So keep that in mind, my people. And if you have any questions, it is 863-342-5171. Do make that phone call. More than willing to share the information that we do have, that we know, and how to get it done. And again, it comes down to making sure that you pick up the truck, you get to orientation, and you get up under a load as quick as possible. I've been doing this a long time, and I have seen people get hurt in regards to, they're missing something from the dealership, as a title. And they didn't have a copy of the original title, and so that one document can slow your process up by weeks. So I have seen that. So don't let something as silly as that slow your process down to get you going as quick as possible. So once again, 863-342-5171. We're here to help out. It kind of jumps into to a little bit of other things that are changing. I don't know if you guys seen that they're going to kill the self-regulation for DOT. FMCSA is actually going to say no more self-regulation for trucking schools because of the mills that are out there. People that are doing medical cards. There are a lot of people that just self-certify, and some ELD providers, right? So all of that is changing. So keep in mind, they're coming pretty quick. So what I would say is pay attention to, if you did get your medical card from one of these places, chances are they actually might, you probably get a letter, hey, we're going to downgrade your CDL. You have this amount of time to get a new medical card so you remain compliant. So that's why you got to keep your ear to the wall, because that's the punishment. The punishment is in the process for you. So again, they're going to do what they have to do, which is fine. I'm talking about how it affects you on the day-to-day basis and what you can do to protect yourself to continue to run. I think just a few years ago, there was some doctor in I want to say Atlanta. It was in Georgia, Atlanta somewhere, and he was just handing out medical cards, pay to pass. So this guy gets caught up, and so once that happened, everybody he had issued a medical card to got that love letter that, hey, you have to go to a certain location, and get a new medical card in order to remain compliant. You have set amount of time to do so, and if you don't, you will be downgraded. So pay attention to that. It's important. So I don't think you have to worry if you've gone to like Concentra or like major locations. You probably have to worry if you've gone to like those smaller spots, and so forth. So just putting it out there. I don't want to see anybody get hurt in regards to getting their licenses suspended due to something like that. I've seen this happen. Sometimes you're really, really busy. You're out there grinding and getting it done, and you just didn't pay attention to these small little things, and now somebody's suspended. So just bringing that to light, that's what that's going to mean to you. I don't know what it would mean to a lot of these places where people went to a certain school and they passed, and now they're, I don't know if they got to go back to school or what it might actually mean. So keep that in the back of your brain. I actually saw this thing online yesterday. It's pretty interesting, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. So I guess Texas it downgraded a bunch of CDLs that were non-domicile, right? So it says effective immediately, your non-domicile CDL privileges have been canceled. You may no longer operate any commercial vehicle, operating a commercial vehicle upon the highways in this state is canceled. So here's my thing, right? Effective immediately. So I get what's going on, but here's the damage. Like, there's a lot of guys that might be OTR, and there's more people involved. So how do you safely, if this is about safety, get these trucks home in a safe manner? Because there's a lot of collateral damage with implementing something like this. Because like now, let's say a guy gets pulled over, right? That's an out of service for the individual, right? And granted, if he can get his CDL back up and running and all that, that out of service is there, right? Because at that moment, he didn't have a valid license. And what about the CDL? Now the points go to him, obviously, for driving while suspended, non-commercial CDL. And then what's going to happen is the carrier is going to eat some of that. So, a carrier who has a guy and he's legitimately, MVR is clean, check. Motor vehicle, he's not expired. Everything is valid. He's, the carrier's doing everything that has to be. And now they're getting an out of service as well. Imagine him being loaded. All of these things that can happen. So I just think there may be a better way to do something like this, because saying effective immediately means it doesn't matter where you are, whether you're getting unloaded, whether you're buying fuel at that moment, effective immediately, these guys can't be on the road. So I get what they're trying to do. But again, like the process is the punishment for a lot of people. So at least if they probably would have got a 30-day, not saying that's and I'm only saying that to get people home safely, so you don't have abandoned trucks everywhere, loads abandoned, because here we go. That's one of the biggest things that is out there. So if it is safety, I don't know if necessarily this would be the way to do it. And again, what if somebody gets their actual license downgraded, but they actually, got caught up in it? They do have the documents, just never had to go back and really update it because nobody was asking at the moment. So, okay, so here we go. But now he has an out of service out there. And they're pretty fierce out there, man. They're looking for a lot of this stuff. So this is going to damage a lot of people. So keep an eye on it, guys. So if you're in this predicament, if you're keep an eye on your CDL. It's important to you, especially if you're going to get the ability to put in the updated paperwork and continue rolling. You don't want that blemish on you. All right. So that's also changing. I mean, these things are, like week after week after week, I feel like the industry keeps just jabbing and punching, man. And it's, it's just tightening up capacity. Have seen a spike in what guys are bringing home on that gross level on a weekly basis, for sure. Super happy about that for the industry, for us as a community. But I'm not really sure if it's due to all these regulations and all of this, or is it due to, the holiday and that's the thing to do. So even that, like we talk about, got a love letter from C.H. Robinson as well. Updated service expectations starting early 2026. So I don't necessarily think I'm the only guy that got this. This is probably from everybody across the board. As technology and AI is improving and improving and improving, I guess everybody is going to be jumping on that bandwagon, especially the big boys, right? When they can automate a lot of things and streamline it and almost like hit the button and then you're ready to go. So you have that. So they're going to be saying, all right, so here we go. Beginning early 2026, our carrier service expectations will be adjusted. These new, easy to comply with service expectations put on by CH Robinson's carriers the carriers are in complete control of their service delivery. So the three basic service requirements: one, tracking compliance. Carrier or the driver submits a valid tracking ID 2 hours, no less than 2 hours, before the pickup window closes, or within 30 minutes if booked inside that window. So those are probably like the last minute, you know, last minute loads and so forth. Carrier must be no less than 90% compliant. So what's going to happen is kind of like what I was talking about the other day when we were talking about the Amazon relay and all of that. What happens when it just becomes a bot, when it becomes AI and there's nobody to talk to? And although this is easy to say and whatnot, but what about the human factor in all of this, right? Is your rep able to change anything, or is this just kind of going to be this AI thing? And the minute you're, at 90% or rather at 89% and lower, you're automatically voted off the island. So that's insane, because if let's say you're a one-man army, you're already running your own thing, and you only have 2 loads with them in a week or whatever, and then all of a sudden you were possibly late on one by you didn't meet the requirement of 2 hours, you're 50% compliant, you're already off the island like that quick. So keep an eye on that. So that's one. Cancellation performance. So here we go. Carrier must notify CH no less than 24 hours in advance if unable to move the shipment. High cancellation rates may lead to restrictions, which pretty much means you keep canceling loads on them. Here we go. You're not going to be able to probably book loads, or who knows what the punishment is, and so forth. And now, even though you got a contact there, I wonder, what does this actually mean? Is now your contact limited to what they could do for you, because now they got this measuring system probably on their screen? You're there and you're lit up in red. Don't touch this cat because he's always late, and again, same thing with the scenario. What if you only did 2 loads, right? And on just one of them you were late, and already you're 50% on time. You fall into that bucket of that because of just like the amount of loads you do with them and so forth. Here we go. So that would be that's that cancellation. All right. So you typically shouldn't be canceling, but again, like, things happen, man. Like, things happen. Like, you have breakdowns, and actually it's crazy because the bigger you are, I think the more things are happening just because of the sheer numbers. And there's breakdowns all the time. There's accidents, there's weather conditions, there's all of these things. But what's crazy is, like, the AI got no room for any of that. And the reason I'm saying that, like, is because, just like the Amazon relay we were talking about last week, it's there's nowhere to put that in there. It's just, you're late. Nobody's really listening. And even if you call 1-800 number, good luck getting somebody on the phone to explain what your situation is, right? So on-time performance, carrier and driver pickup and deliveries. Carrier driver picks up and delivers as agreed at booking. Repeated on-time underperformance may lead to restriction. So here we go. Here's one of the things that kind of changes it for me a little bit, or kind of like, you got to be careful with something like this. So I'm going through something right now. So the broker says, pick up and delivery, you got to deliver by 9 a.m. All right, not a problem. Boom, boom, boom. But what's going to happen is also the pickup was actually delayed And so because of that, the delivery had to get pushed back. So, that, we know these cats. Like, we've been working with them for a very long time. So you're going back and forth negotiating, and you got it on email and so forth. And you got that day-to-day stuff going on. And so we're not worried about the late fee, right? It's $250. I'm worried about that. That's a lot of money. Nobody, this is nobody's willing to lose $250. That's a problem. But here's what happens: you're able to talk with your guy, negotiate you got an email now, don't worry about it. I understand you picked up late, not because of your fault, but because the shipper delayed you in loading and whatnot, and so forth. And you have that relationship, your dispatcher who can negotiate, your dispatcher who's developed that rapport with their rep and the rep and so forth. And that's a little bit of the honor system, checks and balances for sure. Yeah, you got the email to protect yourself, so you don't have that revised rate count, let's say, right? But you got that, you got that email, you got that thing back and forth that you can do that. But does AI know any of that is happening? No, it doesn't. So like, this automated stuff is just gonna read, you know, hey, this cat is late. And so just check this out. So my guy gets there and delivers. So he gets there at noon, which is on time. It's on time. I know I said he delivered at 9 a.m., but granted, everything that happened, everybody knows that this guy's going to get there at noon. So there's no problem to that, right? No, I shouldn't say that. Not everybody. Maybe not the guy who's signing off on his bill of lading. And my guy right there protecting his, COAing his stuff says, on the bill of lading, 9 a.m. The driver is supposed to be here 9 a.m., arrives at 12 and out by whatever set time. All right. So what does that mean, right? That right there is a problem. So why is that a problem? Because now he's hey, good morning, Timothy. How you doing? What he's actually doing is he's highlighting, you know, uh, it appears anybody looking in not familiar with the situation that he's late. So once those bill of ladings go up the ladder, and it's going to go to the billing and the factoring. So the factoring says, oh shit, there's going to be probably an underpayment on this because the guy is late, because that's what it says right there. There's no privia to the back and forth negotiation between the broker and the dispatcher and the gentleman's handshake backed by an email. Um, like, is all of that dying? Like, that's the crazy part. Is all of that, like, that people person, that negotiating uh aspect of it, dying with all these new implementations? So it is what it is. You have to adapt, you have to remain adaptable. Everything changes. We always say it in trucking: nothing is forever, everything will evolve and change. I mean, the fundamentals of it stay the same. However, as technology advances, so must you. But that's kind of crazy. Like, just something I'm going through right now, can be problematic, because now you're in a spot right now you don't even know if they're gonna underpay you until, is let's say they're net 60, until then. And that's when you're gonna know. So you pay your guy, then you're underpaid 250. Now you're short. Or you don't pay your guy 250 right now, but all he knows is the conversation and negotiation that was going on, and that's a problem. But 250 is 250. You fuck around with something like that, 10 guys a week becomes a problem, right? So there you go. So these things are always changing. We're just sharing the kind of things that we see, the love letters we're getting. I'm sure there are, we are not the only ones that got that. What's your thoughts? Is trucking truly changing? Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? I don't know, because I think even when the Amazon relay and all of that, people were gonna love the idea of it. Like, all right, man, I don't even need a dispatcher. You just clicking on the loads you want and so forth. And that would be great. And it sounds good until those guys started, somebody was late due to a traffic pattern, late to this, late to that, or whatever, or missed a load, and it was just maybe a glitch in the system. But the algorithm is so unforgiving, and there is no one to talk to. And how do you fix that? You almost had to wait out your time, and so even on the recruiting side, man, I definitely saw like a lot of guys that had multiple trucks, you know uh f- five, three, four, five trucks and looking to do local, and now they're trying to place them somewhere else. And what happens with something like that is also uh, those drivers that he had are conditioned to that type of work. They're not trying to go OTR to save your business. So it's not as easy to just flip your whole operation and have those guys come with you. So you got to be careful. So anyway, that's my little spiel on a little bit of what's going on there. So do be cautious out there. Again, we're just talking shop here, and what we do is we put it out there what we're going through, so that you don't, you can better make decisions depending on what your situation is. I get it. The answers to a lot of things that are going on will be different depending on the individual and what they're actually going through. But nevertheless, this is something that you got to be careful with. And it was even almost like, as an example with those medical cards when they were going out, when, so the new rule, right? You don't even have to have your medical card on you. But the process and the reporting of all of that is the major problem, right? Because when their system was down a little bit, and let's say you didn't get updated, and now all of a sudden the state and the feds aren't really talking, and now your CDL gets downgraded because of their glitch, because of their problem, right? Who's the guy getting put out of service? You are. Who's the guy that's going to be late on that run? You are. Who's not getting a reload? You're not. So that's what we're trying to avoid, right? Because ultimately we're the guys in the trenches. We're the ones fighting the battles. We're the ones delivering. We're the ones booking the load on the day-to-day basis. We're that support to you. So we're kind of like at this level while they're all fighting about Excel sheets and what we should be doing. We're the guys that are actually rolling out, living the processes, and battling the challenges, and just trying to keep trucks moving and utilization and keeping guys earning. And that's what it's about for us. And I'm sure moving your truck is what it's about for you. So if you are a owner operator to be, and you're thinking about jumping into the mix, definitely give us a call, 863-342-5171. Let's talk shop. Get educated as much as you can about becoming an owner operator and what the expectations are for yourself to be successful, what it takes, where did people go wrong, so you don't go wrong at those exact locations as well. You want to absorb as much information as you can in order so that you start making the right decisions, so you can be successful. All right. Whether it comes down to, a lot of guys want to do their own authority. All right, cool. There's good and bad to that. It depends on who you are and what you're capable of doing, and what and where your strong points are. Should you have your own trailer? Should you do power only? What about the plates? What about 2290s and insurance, and who's paying for what insurance, and what insurances are you talking about? When you don't know, you don't know. So you got to educate yourself so that you can actually come out the gate running and have a good opportunity to be successful. So the number to call, 863-342-5171. All right. Got plenty of opportunity for first-time owner operators. We're actually doing another orientation today, trying to squeeze them in as much as we can. So yes, we will adapt. We do one a day if necessary. Remember, we fast track. It is from 9 to 3, and guys will get loaded the very next day they're loading out. So this is it. It's crunch time. A lot of these guys want to get out to come back, even though they're getting back in for that holiday. Some guys don't want to come home for that Christmas. That's up to the individual. Either way, we customize that dispatch around the individual that's actually onboarding with us, and so that's the important one for you guys. So so if you are based out of that Lakeland area, come give us a visit. You want to check us out, 3180 Mulford Road in Mulberry. So here we go. Comments right here, guys. If you are based out of Lakeland area, we are looking for experienced dispatcher, safety, marketing, recruiting, billing, etc., social media marketing, everything under the sun. It's all about expanding and growing and looking for top talent. So, while others are closing up shop, we're actually pushing forward and expanding. So, guys, 863-342-5171. Give us a call. Let's get some dialogue going, and let's see how we can help each other out. So that's always important. And and it's always about evolving and improving your business. So here we go. And you never know who you're going to meet. It's really about getting opportunity in front of you guys. All right. So guys, if you're in that position and you're looking for that good opportunity, and you know what you have what it takes, and you got to be self-motivated, you got to have that entrepreneurial spirit, you got to have that good business ethic, you know what I mean? So that's exactly what it takes to succeed here. So if you are that person, it is 863-342-5171. Give us a call directly. All right, so that's what I got going on. So guys, don't forget, for my fleet company guys out there, again, we do not have any company trucks, but we have a fleet owner with multiple units, and he is looking for some fleet drivers. So give us a call to learn about those details and how that could benefit you. The beauty about that is that they are backed by Penske. And what I mean by backed is, Penske, you have just yesterday, an individual had a hole in a trailer and a small hole, rolled into Penske. Half hour later, bada bing, problem was solved. No one is waiting on the on the owner of the truck to make those decisions. And did he pay? Did he not pay? When is he sending payment? It's all part of it. It's part of a nice maintenance package, which is which is monumental for the fleet driver. Imagine that you don't have to worry about that. You got enough things. You have enough things to worry about. Now that one, you don't. Got a comment here, Grand Rising. So here we go. Guys, so pay attention. So to jump on that, you got to call right away, 863-342-5171. He only has a limited amount of trucks, so make sure you're getting into one. All right. So give us a call. Don't forget, 863-342-5171. All right, my people, that's what I got going on for today. Make sure you join us tomorrow. Bring the comments. We have one here. All right. So before we go, we actually got a comment here. What's your split, and do your drivers dispatch their own loads? So our split is 75. If you are on your using one of our trailers, we have dry van trailers, and 85 if you bring your own to the table. Do our drivers dispatch their own loads? They do not. They have a nice working relationship with the dispatcher, but dispatcher's doing all of that for him. And the reason for that, right? We're reading them. You do get the original rate on though, my man. That's super important to the process. Transparency is king. But these guys are posting a truck in different markets, who's calling back, reading the rate-ons, what's predatory, what's not, kicking back things that 50, 30, 40% deduction on the line haul, who has credit, who does not. Right now, that is a big topic. Like I was just mentioning the other day, actually got an email with a warning on what brokers are losing some ground, and be careful, because you may not actually get paid if you booked with them. And those were the exact same guys that they were on my shit list over here because they weren't paying. We actually got paid on most of them. I still got some outstanding stuff, but there are guys that have credit in the morning, and then by the afternoon they do not. As a matter of fact, I think RXO actually dropped quite a bit. So check before you book. It's important, because that shit does matter. Because what's the point of getting 20 grand if you ain't getting paid? You're paying it out, but how long can somebody pay 20 grand and bill zero? You got a problem. So everything matters right now. But that was a long answer to no, they don't. So, but give us a call, 863-342-5171. Learn more about the details of what we have to offer. So we're on standby and at the very best. And a lot of my guys, I've had 2 visits already this week. Some of these guys that have been coming home for the I guess the holiday, or they're home a little bit early, whatever the case may be, guys, stop by and visit us. We'll show you some sample settlements of what our guys are doing the past 2-3 weeks, so you have a clear idea of what that looks like. Right. So here we go. Top earners can, 7,500 plus on a weekly basis. I had a guy break 8. So if they're doing it, you can do it. It just takes you being aligned with the right people. And that's where we come in. So we're down for the cause. And we just got to hear from you. So come on down and let's settle up, talk shop, and make something happen. All right, my people. It is 863-342-5171. Do give us a call and let's talk shop. All right. No further ado. Got to get out there to the day job. So, guys, we will talk soon. We will see you tomorrow. And until then, please be safe and drive safe. All right, guys. Be good.